when the band finally fell into place as the Warlocks, it was basically what was the Grateful Dead.
Absolutely. Kreutzmann, me,
Yeah.
Phil.
Pig and Bobby, huh?
That's right.
And what did it sound like?
Sounded like hell. It sounded really awful for the first few gigs.
Was it the Warlocks very long before you became the Dead?
About a year.
And what triggered the new identity?
Well, we finally discovered that there was a band that was recording under using the name Warlocks. So we said, oh, we can't have that kind of confusion. So we went on the band hunt, looking for a name.
The name came from whom? Who dug it up?
Well, I found it in an old dictionary at Phil's house. And I just opened it up, and there I saw the Grateful Dead.
Jesus, you could have been, could you imagine what would have happened? The Warlock heads? I mean, the dictionary changed society.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. That was about the time we fell in with the acid test and Kesey and those guys. We had started taking acid ourselves while we were still the Warlocks. We didn't do it at shows. At the time we were playing the divorcees bars up and down the peninsula,
Yeah.
Our booking agent was this guy who used to book strippers and dog acts and magicians and everybody else, And it was the standard gig, 6 nights a week, 5 sets a night, standard bar stuff. We were doing that for about a year. And, after that, you're ready for anything. We knew a lot of the people in Kesey's scene because it was all part of the Palo Alto scene, which we were part of. And they knew of us. The one guy named Page, who was one of the pranksters, came to one of our late-night sets at one of the bars we were playing at. I said, hey, you guys, we're having these parties up at Kesey's place in La Honda every Saturday night. Why don't you guys come? And we said, well, we're working all the time. Luckily, the following week we got fired, and we had nothing to do. So Saturday night came around, we went to the first one of those parties, which later became the acid test.
And what did you do there? I mean, it was just experimenting?
No, we set up the equipment, everybody got high, and stuff would happen. Now, Kesey and his pranksters have been doing this for a long time. They had instruments, they played weird music, but mostly it was completely free. There was no real performance of any kind involved. Everybody there was as much performer as audience, These guys had never been confronted with a regular rock and roll band, And we plugged our gear in, which looked like space-age military nightmare stuff compared to all their stuff, which was hand-painted and real funky, And we played about 5 minutes, and then we all freaked out, We played for about 5 minutes, but it completely devastated everyone. They begged us to come back to the next one. And that's how it happened, essentially.
When you guys now, you're doing some acid, you're playing around, what did you expect to be? Were you going to be a Beatles? Were you going to be a great rock and roll? What were you going to do?
We didn't really care whether we went somewhere specifically. We mostly wanted to have fun. And when we fell in with the acid test, we started having the most fun we'd ever had, ever, More than we could have ever. I mean, it was just incredible.
And how long did that go on?
For about 6 months. But that was probably the most important 6 months in terms of directionality. Because the neat thing about the acid test was we could play if we wanted to, but if it was too weird, we could always not play. So that was the only time we ever had the option of not playing.
I lit up from Reno, I was trailed by 20 hounds. Didn't get to sleep that night till the morning came around. Set out to run, but I take my time. A friend of the devil is a friend of mine. I get home before daylight, just might get some sleep tonight. Ran into the devil, baby, loaned me 20 bills. Spent the night in Utah in
I think the Grateful Dead kind of represents the spirit of being able to go out and have an adventure in America at large, you know what I mean? You can go out and follow the Grateful Dead around, and you have your war stories. Something like hopping railroads, something like that, or being on the road like Cassidy and Gerlach.
Yeah.
But you can't do those types of things anymore, but you can be a Deadhead. You can get in your van and go with the other Deadheads and cross the United States and meet it on your own terms, and it's sort of a niche for it in a way.
Before daylight, just my